After creating your block, I like to look at mine in isometric view, which you can do by holding Control and pushing pushing 7. Control 7 should get you into this view. And again, your front needs to be facing this way. The right side needs to be facing this way. If you didn't design it properly, the answers I'm about to show you how to find from your block A will be wrong. So make sure that you have created block A correctly. All right, so one of the first things to know is I have the origin showing just so that I can show everybody this is where the origin point is. And if you want yours to show up too, you can go to View, Hide Show, and when you come down, you can turn on origins. Sometimes this is handy, especially for this type of activity where you need to make sure that it's created correctly. So there it is right there. You don't need to pay any attention to my file tree. However you made it is fine as long as when you push Control 7, it looks like this, and you have the origin in this front corner. Everything else should be just fine. So the place we want to go is Evaluate. So when you click Evaluate, you get all these different items, and one of them says Mass Properties. When you click Mass Properties, you're going to see a whole bunch of stuff about this block. One of the things that you're going to see is this center of mass. Okay? You may be asked for either on a form, on a piece of paper, on a Google Doc, in an exam. There's a variety of ways you may be asked for it. But if you're asked for the center of mass values, here they are right here. Okay? And as you can see, these are out to 3 decimal places. If your teacher asks for something out to 2 decimal places, here's the easiest way to correct that. You click Options right here, and you can click Use Custom Settings, and decimal places can become 2. And then you hit OK. That way the software starts to do the rounding. Okay? You will likely be asked for numbers only out to 2 decimal places, so this is probably the settings that you want to use. I'm going to go ahead and close out. So that's how you find center of mass. And the nice part is the center of mass does not change with whatever or with any material settings. So materials. To change your mass, which you did see as an option under here, this just has kind of a default material that it tells you it would weigh this much. We want to actually set specific materials. This is a cool way for engineers to decide, okay, if I made it out of this, here's what the mass would be. There's a lot of other cool things in there, but we're just going to stick with mass for now. So if I see material right here, it says not specified. If I right click on this, my first option is edit material. And then I also have a bunch of commonly used materials right here. You may get lucky and have it be here. So for example, if they tell you that it's going to be made out of 1060 alloy, you can click on this. The appearance might shift some. The big thing to know is you want to see the material here. And now when I go to mass properties, you can see that my mass properties are 260.89 grams. If I was asked for the mass properties for if it was 1060 alloy, that's right there. I can close that. I can right click on it again and change it to this ABS plastic. So now it's ABS PC, which stands for polycarbonate, so it's kind of clear and see-through. So now when I go to mass properties, you can see it's changed a lot. I'm now down to 103.39 grams. Now, if you're not lucky in that the material you need is not listed in this list of materials, you just click Edit Material. And when the Edit Material window comes up, you're going to see a bunch of categories. Okay, so steels are going to be here. Okay, including stuff like chrome stainless steel, galvanized steel, plain carbon steel, stuff like that. Irons, not too oftenly used, but available. Aluminum alloys. Okay, so these are going to be some of your numbered ones. Okay, good things to know there. Copper alloys. You can pick those. You can see that it includes brass and I believe bronze as well. Oh, manganese bronze is in there. Okay. Aluminum bronze as well. Titanium alloys are all in there. Now, here's one thing that is kind of confusing. Other metals does have some of those additional ones. So you will see like titanium was here by itself, but alloys. For those of you not familiar with the term, alloy means it's mixed with something. So in here, it's titanium plus something, which is why they have these big long titles. If I want straight titanium, that's in other metals. I know that's a little bit confusing, but I tend to use more of these other metals because they're a lot easier to write. Now you've got other various things. You've got different types of wood. You've got some different rubber and silicones, okay? Carbon fiber, generic glass, and other non-metals is sometimes a fun one to go into. Porcelain, glass, rubber. Because it's based on some density and some other calculations, you could find it out what it was if it was made out of water. So I can apply that real quick just for fun. It looks like water, I guess. And you can click mass properties. And if this was made of water, that's how much it would weigh. Okay. So you'll notice that this center of mass, regardless of what material I used, never changed. Okay. So this is why these questions, the center of mass question, can be answered actually without any materials being added, or when you need the mass question, you do have to actually add the material on there. If you want to at any point remove material, you can click remove material, and that should put it back to your regular generic gray matter that it makes itself out of.